it went live and then it took the live back. So I'm gonna turn on my camera in just a minute. Just walking up these stairs and I don't want to fall my trip. You can see that on camera. So I'll be there in just a second. But I had to get this out again because this stuff is just getting so annoying to me that I cannot just keep and hold my tongue. So let me get in the house and we will talk about some things real quick. I'll set myself up and you guys will hear from me real quick because I just can't stop talking about this. I'm going to do a podcast too, but I'll probably do that in a little bit. But this is just ridiculous. And I get so just almost enraged actually about all these things happening because nobody really helps you, you know. And when you think about some of these organizations that are domestic violence organizations, some of them truly don't help. And I'm not saying all of them, just some, right? Some organizations don't help, okay? And not because they can't, it's just that's not their MO to help. And not all of them are like that. But the ones that are, you just got to be careful. You know what I mean? You got to be careful. So, bring this down here a little bit. So, I'm sorry about that. And I'm wearing this Robot Righteous t-shirt that came from Dr. Jawanda. When I was doing her thing, I had to take my shades off. So, I apologize, you guys, for all of this. I was like, oh my goodness. Normally, everything is easier right now, but I'm just like, I just had to talk about it again because it's amazing to me that this stuff continues to happen, right? Hey you, I'm not sure who hey you is talking to me, so you're gonna have to let me know because I don't know who you are. Sorry, this thing doesn't let me see. Pardon me for moving my stuff around. I just came in out from outside. So pardon me, I don't know who you are. So you gotta tell me your name. You gotta tell me your name. And then I'll be able to address you properly. But you guys know who I am, T Drake. And the Clarity Doctor. Which Clarity Doctor is that? Is that Mr. Timothy? Because I'm trying to figure out which one. I know there's so many doctors around here, so you gotta let me know which one are you? Because I don't know. But anyway, we're still talking about being the boldness and the audacity of people, right? I knew it. See? I knew it. I knew it. Okay, cool. Hey, Mr. Timothy, how are you? I was about to do the cabbage patch. Come on, get with it. Anyway, let me stop. Some of these people come on here and then they throw me all off topic. Not their fault. That's just, a little bit of my personality that starts to come in. So anyway, we're talking about what? The boldness and the audacity of people, right? And so I'm just gonna do this real quick because I don't normally come on in this time. That's right. She said it. She ready. She ready. She getting it. Let me quit. Mr. Timothy, you're gonna get me in trouble. I'm not even gonna be on content. I gotta get focused. And you clarity doctor, you're not making me have clarity right now. So so right now we're talking about the boldness and audacity of people. And so once again, this is gonna be a PSA, and I'm gonna be doing this for the rest of October because I'm feeling a kind of way. You said my bad. You know you ain't feeling bad. You ain't feeling bad. You ain't right. You ain't right. You ain't feeling bad, y'all. Y'all checking out the Clarity Doctor and get that energy, get that fire, get it, get it. So listen, as I came in and I was walking and I was doing all this stuff, and I had gone in on James Robert Drake. Let's keep it clear. You guys can post it as much as you want. I'm going to be blaring it as much as I like because this is ridiculous and total redonkulousness. That's what I said, redonkulousness, because listen, domestic violence and abuse is a real thing. And for people that say, oh, it's not a real thing, if it were me, I would get out of it. I'm going to need you to, because you don't know what you don't know. You can say all that yakety smaggety, but until you're in it, you have no idea what the heck you're talking about. And I'm going to be real raw, but righteous. To Dr. Jawanda, holla to her. That is not true. Because if you were in something like that, and you were really going through the psychological abuse and manipulation and the sexual abuse of being raped and thinking that you're going to walk out and leave, yeah, I don't think so. I really don't. So those are the people that say, I'm not gonna sit there. He ain't gonna put his hands on me, child. If he put his hands on me, I'm gonna take some, I'm gonna punch him in the face, and I'll be like, you ain't talking to me. You're living in a fantasy land because that's not reality. Okay. If a lot of women and men could get out of that situation of being in domestic violence and abuse, we wouldn't have so many millions of men and women trapped in a situation. Now, would we? If it was that easy, we wouldn't even have a global pandemic and epidemic of domestic violence and abuse. On top of the pandemic we are already facing, this is an invisible pandemic that's been going on for decades and really tolerated by America and not really dealt with, because if it was, there wouldn't be a whole bunch of these things in scenes and movies like a woman gets slapped and like that's okay. Like, yeah, she got her butt whooped. That's what's up. You should have stayed in your place, girl. Well, there you go. And because that narrative keeps being perpetuated on, then guess what you get? A whole bunch of DV when men, some men, I'm just gonna say some, okay, they're not all bad. Men are bad, and I'm not even ragging on men right now. This is not a rag on men. This is not a rag on women. This is just a generalization of a situation. I'm not talking about all men and women. So don't say I'm coming for you because I'm not coming for you and I ain't saying for you. So please don't say you talking about all men. Don't generalize us. I'm not talking about all y'all. I'm just saying some. And that means if that's not you, this conversation isn't for you. If you're listening just to get information, that's different. But if it's not you, I ain't talking about you. So this is what I'm saying. When those type of men do those type of things, and there's women that do it too to men. Yes, men can be abused. It's a real thing. So when that's going on, you don't allow yourself to keep your mouth quiet, because that's how the rest of this perpetuates and continues to go on. So you got to speak about it a lot, often. And do I want to be the poster child for domestic violence and intimate partner violence? Perhaps not. But I have to do something because my name is being dragged through the mud right now. I got an ex husband doing the most. And I'm talking about doing the most. This is a man that will come and find me, search me out, and come and find me for what? To get back together? No, to finish what he started. That's for me to not be living here, but I know my God is greater. He don't believe in the Lord, and that's fine. That's good and all well. But I just want to let you guys know that through domestic violence and abuse, those different type of signs that you're looking for, they're very subtle. So when you see those Lifetime movies and they say, "Oh, well, she was hit all the time. She was hit all the time." That's not always how it is. There might be a small percentage that have that particular instance where the man is extremely abusive from the gate, but for others, that's not how it goes, because for the ones that don't do that, they're very charming. They're not going to come out and smack you in your face. You would never be with them. That would not be their bait. That's not what draws you in. It's the charm, it's the genuine care that they present, it's the beautiful facade. And then when you pull back the facade and you lift up that curtain, or call it a rug, because I would probably say it's a rug. But when you lift up that beautiful Indian Persian rug and you see the underbelly, which has got all kind of roaches and all kind of disgusting stuff under there, you don't understand the monster that lives underneath the beautiful facade, right? The charm is gone. The respect was already out the door. It was an allure, right? You're being allured into something. It is deception. You're being deceived. You have no idea what's going on. So you're being deceived. And that's what the enemy loves to do to us. He likes to deceive you. But if you are aware and cognizant of what's going on, you won't be able to be deceived. So I want to stop here this morning because I'm going to be talking more about this in depth later on tonight, of course, and going in a little bit more in depth. But I want to let you guys know that you're not alone going through intimate partner violence. And remember and recall what October is. It's the month talking about domestic violence and abuse, and we need to be talking about it. If you have a story, get it out there. I don't care if you got one person, 25 people, 3,000 people watching you. Tell your story, because although these abusers, they come in all different types and shapes and sizes, your story is unique. They might have the same kind of underlying with the power and control bill of how they utilize their power and control, and what kind of type of narcissist, let me say that again, what type of narcissist that you get involved with. I was involved with a few different types within one person, types of narcissistic mindsets and behaviors. Okay. You've got the malignant narcissist, you've got the sexual narcissist, you have all different types of narcissists. There's a whole bunch of them out there, and the malignant one is the most dangerous because that one don't care. That one don't care if you cry. That one don't care if you got ran over by a truck. That one don't care if you're sleeping in your grave. That one just doesn't care. That's the socio psychopathic type of narcissist. You don't want that one, because that one's coming for blood, and not just coming for blood, coming to see you die and would like to watch you die. Like I said, strangulation is one of the highest, as I was relayed to. That's the highest form of domestic violence and abuse. Not like getting shot with a gun isn't bad. Not like getting burned by acid isn't bad. Not like getting stabbed by someone isn't bad. I'm not saying that. All of them are bad. However, anybody does it, beating you, and all different types of ways that they do it, it's all bad. All of it. None of it is good. None of it's higher than the other. Just with this particular one, that I was informed that that person wanted to watch me literally have the breath leave out of me, because it was strangulation, death by strangulation. And so sometimes when I'm trying to catch my voice, I could tell that sometimes, because it was he was squeezing so long at that time, that I could know that sometimes my voice box, something's wrong with it. And they had to go and check and everything. So sometimes they tell me, even after 6 years of being away, make sure you check out your throat, make sure you checking out your voice, make sure you're checking it out. You don't know the ramifications of what happens internally when something like that happens. We just don't know. And because the outside you can't see, the inside might be extremely bruised, right? But you don't know that. So you have to do that, right? Absolutely. This is something that has to be shared. If a man, which was my ex husband, takes a bag of cans, like I shared on last night, and swings it into my mouth and makes blood gush to my shirt and says, "Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize." You're sorry. I see. So was it before or after the blood came out my mouth that you were sorry? I'm trying to figure out, was it before or after you saw the blood come out? Because you probably wanted to see that, right? Was it that time, or was it when we're driving and you put the emergency brake and we could have all been killed? Or is it when you were driving erratically during the highway, just speeding at all types of areas and trying to do brake checks just out of the area, just anywhere, and you got kids in the car? Which one was it? Because either way, my life was in danger the entire time, just never knowing when that time is going to be. That's why it is imperative that you have, and I'm going to say it because some of you may not know what this is, but I'll be sharing it more often. Having your WPS paired with your EPS. Your WPS was just your written plan strategy, if you want to say that, or write, plan, strategize, however you want to do it. But you got to have that together, right? And then keep it in your mind so that your EPS, which is your E, could be escape, exit, or execute, however you want to use that E, that's all good with me. And your P is still your plan that you take from your WPS, and your S is your strategy, right? You're gonna have an escape plan strategy, your execute plan strategy, or your exit plan strategy, but you gotta have something. Yes, we start with the formality of having a safety plan. You got to have a safety plan in position to know what you need, where you're going to go. That's just the frame of the house. Okay. A safety plan is just your frame. That's not what you need to put inside there. Your WPS will be all the different parts of the furnitures put inside there, right? Because you're getting things set up. So you got your bed here, you got the big things there. So if you need to go get documents and restraining orders and all those things, Those are your furniture. You're setting up those things in preparation while you plan inside of the framework of the safety plan in that house. And now you're putting in the furniture. Now, after you put in your furniture, which is WPS, now you could come back and do an interior design, which is your EPS, the technicalities of how you move and what you do and when you do it, making sure you've got your transportation on lock, making sure you got the time down and don't back down with the time. You stick to the time that you made and you leave without going back on that time. So, say you said you want to leave your situation at 12 o'clock p.m. on the dot. Well, then 12 o'clock, you better be out of that place wherever the residence is and at a gas station or on your journey or on the flight or on the train or on the bus. You have better be there at 12 and continue on your trip to where you're going to your destination. Then you need to also know where you're going to sleep, whether that's with a friend, you're going to be couch surfing for a moment, or you're going to have to go to a shelter, which is hard to do, but you need a plan where you're going to be. And if you got kids, you need to make sure that they got beds for you and your kids, and you need to know about all of that. Right? You can't just jump and go. And I know people say, well, take your escape when you got it, but you still got to have stuff together, right? In your mind, when you know you're going to leave, you got to at least have a little miniature baggie packed with all your information, your tax information, your documents, all that stuff. And I'm on the aftermath of this, coming through this because my ex is now using my identity for tax fraud, filing a tax return as married, filed separate, and we're divorced. This man isn't done because I'm not going back, but I'm not going to sit up here and say that I'm okay with letting him do that. Oh no. And then go to Wells Fargo on yesterday to see open two bank accounts in my name. Just because you misspell it, that's still my address that you searched out to find. Okay. I want everyone to be clear. And you don't have to watch this. And this is a PSA for anybody who wants to know. There's a boldness and an audacity with someone who says they've had control over you before. They want to still have control over your life in some type of aspect and regard. Don't get it twisted for 1 second that they've forgotten because you've moved on. It's been 6 years. 6 years I've been away out of that situation, right? But it's not done for me. I'm still yet dealing with it, right? So this is not over yet. So I got to go back and go put some locks in, some blocks down, all kinds of stuff. And still, yet, and still, I know it still won't be done, right? So you got to do also prepare and cover yourself. Prepare and cover yourself. Even when you do the most, even moving out of state, that's huge. You move out of state, but because my ex husband happens to be a truck driver, where I go don't make a difference when it comes to me. Truck drivers go whatever state. The only state he would never be able to get to me to, and those are only the two, would be Alaska and Hawaii, or moving out of the country. Then I know I'm free and clear, right? But just to move into different states doesn't protect me, not really. I just know I always have to be moving. And I've been moving since I've been out of that relationship. It's been from this apartment to this transitional place to this place to this place. I had just moved from an apartment in Long Beach to this apartment here. And I know I'm going to have to go again because now he has this address. It's time to go. It's time to bounce. I always have to stay one step ahead, and the Lord is always moving me. And I've already got box packed and things getting ready to go because here he comes. Like you can't be still and you can't be sitting around saying, "Oh, he's not gonna come because he moved." I know about my ex-husband, and I know he's able to come out here any state. Really, it wouldn't matter if I lived in Wyoming. He could be there because he does trucking over there. If I moved to Oregon, if I moved to Florida, does it make a difference with a truck driver? They're all over the place, right? So for me, it's a little bit challenging for me to find safety because he's in every state. And all he's got to do is look up where I'm at and it tells, right? It tells where you're at because we have very good internet and also very good cyber things that's out there telling about where you are located, right? It's very simple to find someone. You don't even have to use a PI anymore. Not really, unless you got to find something really in depth, but you can find somebody's address like that. But I'm not running scared. I'm not running afraid. And every time I move, it's not because I'm afraid. It's because I don't want to deal with the mess. And I don't want him coming over and trying to finish what he started. Like, that's not a fake fear. That's a real issue. Like, there, I take issue with him being able to still do these things. That's the problem. Okay. So I'm not going to sit up here and hold it too much more time. I will take more time and talk a little bit more about this all in depth. And I will bring up some more situations. We'll probably be talking about the sexual abuse and some other things that you think that you wouldn't do. But like I said, until you're in it, you might be saying, I'll never do a threesome. You might want to hold that pose and think again. And this is not for fun. This is not because you think you want to. Think about these things, okay? I'll save the rest for at night because this is daylight, but I'll save the other part for later on because you never know what you'll do until you're facing that situation, right? So until I was facing that situation, I said, I'll never do this. I'll never do that. Nobody ever put his hands on me. Nobody would do this. Nobody would do that. Well, I'm here to tell you never say never in that regard because you just never know. So I don't have to be that woman that says, well, if I would have known, I wish I was. I did. So, with that being said, I hope you guys are going to be amazing today, be blessed, motivated, and of course, always inspired to do what God lays on your heart. You guys take care and listen. If you're going through domestic violence and abuse or you're wondering about it, please do call 1-800-799-SAFE, SAFE, and the numerics of that 7233 because they will help you in a local area. They'll give you the information for anyone that's locally in your area to give you some assistance. And do not fret. You'll be okay. It's just going to be hard coming out, but you can do it and you can come out. I did it, and many more like me, men and women, have come out of these things. So be a victor, not a victim. And we're not victims when we come out of this. I don't even like the term survivor. Like, but an overcomer, a thriver, whatever you like to call yourself, you have overcome that challenge that almost killed you, almost took you out, killed you, left you for dead, right? So remember, you are stronger than that situation. Use your story to help others. Use your story to propel others, to ignite change inside of them. Use your story to help those in need. Use your story so that somebody can look at you and say, well, if he or she did it, then I can do it. And you absolutely can. There's no reason why you should stay in a situation that is not beneficial for you, is not helpful for you, and is nothing but 100% toxic and abusive. Okay? That's my PSA, the boldness of it all. James Robert Drake, we're going to be talking about you for all of October. So come out if you want to play. All right. I will talk to you guys later. You guys have a blessed one.